Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with the webinar for today. I should now be broadcasting. Should all be able to see my screen. Please feel free to go ahead and send us a chat or speak up if you are having issues seeing what we're displaying here on the webinar. So my name is Curtis LaFront. I'm here at Fundly, and I work with our customer success team. I'm helping our customers and clients, in particular our enterprise customers, successfully use Fundly's platform to fundraise. So we're very excited to be here with you for this second webinar. Today we'll be covering the topic of how to jumpstart your Fundly campaign, and we'll be focused primarily on how to use Fundly for fundraising campaigns. In future sessions, we will go into other Fundly features and products, such as our event registration platform, but you're welcome to ask questions after the webinar wraps up or explore those through our website.
Welcome to GoToWebinar.
So we'll go ahead and start with an overview here and just some brief background on Fundly. We've been around for several years, and over the course of our history, we've had over $300 million raised on our platform via 35,000 plus campaigns. We're one of the simplest personal and team peer-to-peer fundraising tools that are out there. That essentially means that we are very thoroughly integrated with social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter. We also have what's called a tiered hierarchy between parent and child and team and individual fundraisers. And essentially that allows for you to build very scalable fundraising campaigns. And that makes it very easy and simple for you to launch and then manage these campaigns through this hierarchy. And then there's a number of features that are built into the Fundly platform that enable you to reach your highest potential for fundraising through tools such as social, our Fundly guide, and other automated features. And really, I think to sum up what Fundly does best is it's a fundraising platform that helps you to turn your personal networks into new donor networks. So to help give you an overview of the Fundly structure, we have a diagram here that shows the hierarchy that we have. You start with, at the highest level, a cause page, and that is a page that can represent multiple campaigns. From there, you can drill down into your specific campaigns. You'll often start these for a specific event or a specific cause that you might have. And then you have the option here on the left to create teams. And that can create friendly competition. You can have different sub-organizations that might be affiliated with you. And each of those can have underneath them personal fundraisers that are tied specifically to that team. And the neat thing about this structure is that the messaging, the branding, the assets that you create up at the highest tier with campaigns, they will automatically roll down to their children campaigns, to teams, to personal fundraisers. So you can have a very consistent look and feel and message. At the same time, everything, all of the action that takes place on the fundraising front. So if I'm a personal fundraiser and I raise $50, $100, $1,000, that will roll up and be represented on my team page, and that will also roll up to my campaign page. So the campaign page really becomes a fully representative view and perspective on the entire campaign and what everyone underneath is accomplishing and contributing. You can also go the route of not having teams, and then you could just have multiple fundraisers directly tied to your campaign. Okay, and so those are the different levels. Something that's important to mention to help clarify, we do have certain features that are reserved for paying customers. And so Fundly is available for free use. There's no subscription charge if you're at that level. But certain features such as customized branding, this cause page here, and other features that allow you to unlock Fundly's full potential are reserved for paying subscribers. Okay, so that's the structure of Fundly. We have some key terms that we'd like to familiarize you with. We have an admin, an administrator. That would essentially be you and the nonprofit owner of the campaign. You would have full access and control to the messaging, the look and feel of your campaign, as well as any campaigns that are associated with yours. So if there are teams of personal fundraisers, and say there's a personal fundraiser that's, for whatever reason might be misrepresenting your nonprofit, or you feel a bit uncomfortable with what they have displayed, you control all of that. So if it's tied back to your campaign, you have full rights and ownership and the ability to manage that. You also have the ability to nominate captains. These are individuals that can run and organize and invite people to team pages and really rally the troops around that. They'll be able to manage the team look and feel and edit that to a degree. And then you have personal fundraisers, and these are individuals, most of the time, they're people that haven't ever raised professionally before, but they can very quickly and easily through Fundly set up a personal page that's tied to your campaign. And this will allow them to raise funds on your behalf. And the neat thing is they're able to connect directly through that page to their social networks and use those networks in turn to fundraise on your behalf. And so if you think about it, that phenomenon really gives you access to the networks of your personal network. And that's where you can get into some really exciting growth and access to new donors. Donors, that's pretty simple. Someone who has made a financial contribution to you or your campaign. A supporter, and this is important to clarify, in Fundly terminology, a supporter is someone that has shown any indication of support for your campaign. And that doesn't necessarily need to be a financial donation. We have what's called a support button. It's the equivalent, essentially, of a like on Facebook. But if you click that, that automatically posts onto Facebook. That starts to get you into the system. You capture them as a interested party, and so you now have their contact information. And then any donors, personal fundraisers, team members, etc., they are also counted as a supporter. Next, we have features. We have giving levels, and these are short little snippets associated with an amount, a suggested amount, and this is there to help people visualize how their money and their funds are going to be used on behalf of this cause. And so it'll be something simple like $10 that buys a case of water, or $100 that provides a family with a roof over their head. If you're someone like Habitat for Humanity, that might be an appropriate giving level. You have a dashboard that you'll have access to, and we'll go into more depth on what those features include. But that's essentially your control panel, and that allows you to control all communication, editing of your campaign, and other resources. And then the last one we'll cover is a widget, and this is essentially a snippet of code. And if you have a web developer that manages your nonprofit website or a friend who codes, this is very simple to do, but you can essentially copy this. It's located on the dashboard, and embed that or paste it into your website, and that will allow Fundly to be seamlessly integrated with your blog, your website, and other digital assets that you might own. Okay, so that's terminology. We just want to go over 3 core principles that we think are very helpful to keep in mind as you build and launch your funding campaigns. Over the course of the thousands of campaigns that we've run through, the millions of dollars that have been raised, we've learned these three core lessons. The first is people give to people. At the end of the day, what motivates someone to pull out $10 or to write a multi-million-dollar grant, it's a personal relationship that they develop, and the trust, the respect, the admiration, the emotion that is evoked through that relationship. And that's one of the reasons why we're so excited about the opportunity for social in nonprofit fundraising. As you access individuals' social networks like Facebook, and you have these meaningful dialogues and images and videos that tell a story, it really touches, grandma and sister and your best friend or your roommate from college, and that unlocks all of this potential for giving. And that ties into the second principle, that people give to a story. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the power of storytelling as you tell the story of your nonprofit and your cause. But I think it's very important to keep this in mind as you launch your funding campaign. We've worked very hard to optimize your ability to tell a story on Fundly. We have beautiful front and center opportunities to place digital assets, full resolution pictures, YouTube and Vimeo videos, and then lots of opportunity for great messaging. And so as you come up with your story, your text, as you think about how this displays on Facebook news feeds, as you microblog on our platform, these are all ways that we've tried to enable you with to tell your story. And we encourage you to tell a very emotional, powerful story as you do so. And then the third is we believe fundamentally that everyone we encounter is a very decent human being and wants to do good in the world. One of the major roadblocks to doing that, though, is they often don't know that they are needed and they don't know how they can contribute. So we've found that as people are asked, and as you as the campaign owner encourages your network of supporters to ask their network, you can see some incredible results as people are asked to give of their time, of their resources. Okay, so please keep these in mind as we work on building your campaign. So I have a brief example here, and then we're actually going to jump right into a live demo, and I'll build a campaign on this webinar so that you have a very first-person view of that. But as a brief overview, this is how you build a campaign. You're going to have this edit view as a campaign administrator, and you'll be able to create a campaign. And whether you're on a free or paid version, you can create as many campaigns as you want. You can then go ahead and populate all of these key fields. You will need to populate your fundraising goal, your end date for the fundraiser, your default donation, the about content, titles, and giving levels. And if you have all of this information ready, you can honestly create a campaign in 5-10 minutes easily. You'll also want to upload great assets, again, getting back to the storytelling. So profile images, logos, campaign slideshows, background images, and videos are all uploadable to your campaign. And then finally, you will have the opportunity to brand your campaign with palette choice, so the colors that you represent, messaging, logo, etc. I'll show you how you do that. This is a paid feature, and so you can play around with the editor, but if you would like it to save and be viewable to the public, that's something that you can upgrade to. Okay, so we'll go ahead and dive directly into a demo right now. I'm going to hop over to this page here. I'm going to start directly from the beginning. So if you go to fundly.com, this is what you'll see. This is our home page. I'm going to go ahead and actually create a new campaign. You can see it says start for free. And so I'll go ahead and start like many of you do. And our internet can be a little bit slow at times, so Hopefully it'll speed up a bit further. We'll go ahead and create a login and username. I can switch up something faster. Appreciate your patience as we access the internet. Okay, start for free. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign up via email. We actually encourage you to sign up via Facebook, but I'll need to do this, and I can just show you what it looks like. So demo to password here, and you can go ahead and select individual organization. This will just go ahead and populate directly to your account if you do want to fill it out. You'll agree to the terms of service. You'll go ahead and start your campaign. And so this takes me directly to the Edit Your Campaign page, and this is where you can start building out your page. You can select your category. This helps as people search for campaigns on our site that they're passionate about. This is one way they can use keyword search. So I'm going to be building a nonprofit campaign page for an orphanage today. This is a cause that I work with as one of my accounts. It's a great nonprofit called Change Fire, but I'll build that and then I'll actually show you one of their live campaigns. So I'm going to title this campaign very simple, but it's basically Help for Orphan Children. Okay? So that's my title. That's the key title campaign. You're going to see when I save this or start the campaign, this is actually going to become the URL for the campaign. And then I'm going to take this as the description on why we are fundraising. Okay. And then I'm going to set a campaign goal. I'm feeling ambitious for $30,000. And then we have this orphanage trip coming up in July. And so I'm going to set it for the end of July to raise funds. And I think people can actually give $25. So I'm going to set the default donation as $25. And that basically just means whenever someone clicks donate, the preset number will be $25. They can edit that and change it as they please, but that's what you show them up front. So then I have the chance to put in a logo, and the logo is going to show up on any of the activity that you have going on your page. So I'm going to go ahead and select a logo of my organization, Ignite Change. I've got a nice little fire there. So that'll upload. You can see it populating right there. And then I would like to do one of my videos that we've created. It actually tells our story in a very powerful way, showcases these orphan children. They're just remarkable. And then we have a couple of pictures here. This one of an orphanage, very vibrant colors, and then these women that went on the orphanage trip that were touched in a very powerful way. So I'll upload both of those, and that helps to tell my story and populate my campaign. And then I have this copy here that I've already prepared that tells people about this orphanage trip that I'm taking. And I've tried to be succinct, but also tell my story in these few paragraphs. So let's take a look at this for a moment. So on July 13th and 14th, 40 of us are going down to Baja, Mexico. We're trying to raise $15,000 for solar heating units. And this is going to create significant financial and social returns. So right there I have an event that's taking place, the amount, the benefit. I go into the benefit a bit more. It takes several orphan kids off the streets immediately. Here's some more background. And it's starting to get people excited. And then people also want to know that I'm a legitimate nonprofit. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this in here. Say about Changefire. You can see this is all real-time editable, very smooth, very seamless to use. And boom, this is my entire About section. And then, as I was explaining before, there's giving levels, right? And so I have some here as an example. I would like to say buys one solar panel, and this is a bit pricey, but there's generous people out there. So that's $500. If you want to donate one solar panel, we would love you to do that. A month of schooling for an orphan. How neat is that? That's actually $250. I have paying for medical care. This is a big expense for the orphanages. You often don't realize what it takes. $100 to help with that. And then last, let's say these orphans need to be clothed, and that's going to be $50. And that's really important for them to go to school. And I think that tells a great story. Solar panel that jives with my mission, a month of schooling, medical care, clothing, etc. So let me just give one last walkthrough. It's looking good. I feel good about this. And I could preview this, but I feel good about it. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. If you previewed it, you'd be able to see what it looks like, but it wouldn't actually go live. So I'm going to go ahead and start the campaign. And because I've already created this account, demo 2. And it's going to ask you for one last step. And this is an important piece of it. So we partner with a very well-vetted payment processor called WePay. And so they integrate on the back end, and they handle all of the funds. And so what we require you to do is to activate a WePay account. It's very easy to do. It'll pull in your login information. You just need to sign up with a password. So I'm just going to put in something here. And you hit grant access, and boom, that's it. You are now done. So just a moment on WePay, you will need to log in with that email and that password at a future point. And once in there, you'll go to WePay.com, and you'll go ahead and just access that account and then connect your bank account to that account on WePay. And that's how you'll be able to access all of your funds. And it's available instantly. You can withdraw it as many times as you'd like, as frequently as you'd like, etc. So that is WePay. And then, as I mentioned before, there's a number of automated features that enable you and your fundraisers to start reaching out to their personal networks. And so this is an instance of this, right? So it's a pop-up after you start, and it says, ask your friends to join via email. And you can instantly connect to Gmail and or Yahoo and start promoting your campaign. I'm going to skip that, but you can always go back to this, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's finish it, and let's view our campaign. So in a matter of minutes, you have created a live fundraising site, and this is what it would look like outside of this editorial bar. And so if you were to go to this, as a public person, and you just had the URL here, you would see this page. You'd be able to view this video. You'd see these beautiful assets. I'll start playing that. It's fully embedded. And it looks like the YouTube has been taken down from the organization. You can make a donation instantly. You can also sign up to become a fundraiser. As supporters, start to flag your account or your campaign. Their profiles will show up here and populate it. You'll see a live version of that. This is a thermometer that will track towards your goal It's a very visual way to see that. And then you see the messaging that I put in here start to take effect. So why we're fundraising? We want to help orphan children. We have the ways to give that I had created earlier here. And then we have the About section. So here's what's taking place for the trip. Here's Changefire. You can have interaction here through Facebook commentary. Then we also have this neat piece that says ways to help. And as a new user, none of these check marks will be there except for view the campaign. So you can become a supporter, you can make a donation, you can become a fundraiser. And then we have it fully socially embedded with like and tweets. Okay? And then we have these other tabs, and this is an update section. And that essentially allows you to do two things. You can microblog, and so you can go ahead and post an update. And so let's say we went to the orphanage, and we're still fundraising, but I want to post an update about Amelia, you know, a kid that I met, and she just touched my heart. I have a picture of her. I can upload it. I can tell Amelia's story, and I can push that out. And as I push it out, it'll also be pushed out to my fundraisers, and then it'll be pushed out to our respective Facebook news feeds and personal profiles. Okay, so there's the microblogging aspect, and there's a pulse here. And so you'll see updates, but you also have this neat feature that as people start to donate, support, they can leave messages for you. That'll all start to populate here, and that can also be transferred over to your Facebook page. And so it's all integrated back to Facebook and to Twitter and to these social platforms. And then over time, as you get supporters, participants, and fundraisers, that'll all be populated here. You'll be able to access that information. Okay, so this is the campaign page and the general features here. You can see at the bottom we have some general funding links. But you know, this isn't really branded. And so this is where we have what's called our themalizer. And that's just a term for digging into the branding aspect. And this is really neat because you can start to brand this and personalize it based on your nonprofit. And I love Changefire's branding. They have some great assets, some great colors. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quickly. So I'd actually like the top to be white. You can just put white there. Otherwise, you're going to need the hex colors. And if you talk to any designer, if you just Google hex colors, it's actually very easy to find and look those up. But you're likely familiar with that already. So I'm going to match the logo color here, and that'll be the primary color. You can see the background is already changing instantly as I do that. The footer color, I want that to be the same as well. So I'll go ahead and change that as well. You can see it just made that shift. If I scroll down here, voila. You know, you have this footer that's changed to that color. Then I'd like to spice up the background a little bit. So I'm going to add that here. Vibrant red color. I'm going to add that as the background. You can see it's instantly populating back there. And then I want to add a logo, Funly branded anymore. I'd actually like it to be my Changefire logo. And wow, you see that populate instantly. And now you have a fully branded campaign with the backgrounds, with your footer, your buttons are all that color now. It's quite slick and as you can see, very easy to do. The neat thing is I can actually save as many themes as I want. And so I just save that theme. If I come back later and I'd like to revert to a prior theme that I had, I can easily access that. And you can see that saved right here. So that populates, and that's associated with your account. So anytime you log in, you'll have that. And then just for reference, we do have, you know, these different types of themes here. And so you'll see it automatically changes. You can go with any of these themes if you like them. You know, relax, Paris at dusk. You know, these are pretty fun. But again, it's completely customizable for you. You can use our themes or create your own. Now, again, this is a paid feature, so you need to upgrade, and it's just $59. If you are a paid customer, just go ahead and let your customer success rep like myself know. We can help you enable this. But if you're not a paid customer, you're using our free version, you can just go ahead and pay for it. So I'm actually not going to pay for it this time. So you'll see that it, as I click out of it, it'll. But you don't have to brand it. It's still fully functional. It's just not quite as customized. So that is how you build a campaign in under 5 to 10 minutes. And if you have the assets and the messaging in place, you can create something that's gorgeous and ready to go almost instantly. Now, I just want to show you for reference, this is a real campaign. You can see it right here. We have it live on the site. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and you can just take a look at how it's been populated. So we have over 218 supporters. That's great. You can see how it's been populated with their Facebook profiles. Very neat. They've raised $14,000 out of their $30,000 goal. You can see they've placed their own personal logo image here. That's great. This is one of the orphans. You have the giving levels, and then it starts to populate your top fundraisers. Look at this girl, Tanaz Golshan. She's raised $2,600 for you. That is tapping into her personal network. That's just incredible. You have 27 fundraisers that are doing that half. Look at these top donors. Wow, we're very thankful to Laura Alvarez for donating $2,500. This is just incredible. So we have About the Trip, we have Changefire, as we mentioned before. Let me show you the updates. So we don't have a blog here, but we do have Pulse. We have a new background that we've been working on. Parul just became a new fundraiser. All of these individuals are supporting, they're donating, they're very active on the site. You can see that taking place real time. And then, as I mentioned, this is where you can see all of your donors, supporters, and fundraisers. So it's just neat to see, wow, these are all of the people that are contributing to my campaign. You can go through and access all of these. You could search for someone. If you say, oh, I know, John, he gave. What did he give? And is he connected to Facebook? Here's your supporters, as we mentioned, and then your fundraisers. You can see, wow, look at Tanaz, Parul, and Lindsay. Between the two of them, they've already raised over $5,000. And you can see these individuals, you can thank them, keep tabs on what people are doing. Okay, so that is a real live campaign and some of the incredible work that Changefire is doing on our site. I'm just going to show you Tanaz. So this is Tanaz, that fundraiser we were just looking at. And look, she has $2,600 here. She's actually beat her goal. Way to go, Tanaz. Look, that's a picture of Tanaz, right? So she's personalized this. She says, I'm going to help these orphan children in Baja. And look, she said about me. So I'm a volunteer with Changefire. I'm passionate about this. And then you can see it's pulled in the giving levels. It's pulled in the About section from the parent campaign. And it's all very seamless. All of these assets are from the parent campaign, the original. And so, it's a great way to scale your fundraising efforts. So hopefully that gives you a sense for how to build a campaign and then the potential it has as you launch it. Really some incredible stuff there. And then I'm going to show you, so if you are logged in and you click on the dashboard, this is your command center, your control panel that allows you to govern all of the communication, editing, and management of your campaign. Okay, so we have here, this is the actual Changefire dashboard. When you log in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to land on the Welcome tab. And this will show you all of your campaigns. So if you create 2 campaigns, 20 campaigns, it's all in here. Okay, so you can see I have a bunch in here. And the one selected is this one for Changefire, Help for Orphan Children. If I want to go back and edit it, I can click on this. Or if I want to view it live, I just click on that. So I'm going to stay in the control panel for a bit here. And I can immediately just post something directly from Fundly and say, here's what's new with your campaign. Hey guys, we just updated our fundraising goal, or hey, we just got to Mexico to the orphanage, check out this image, right? You can post it, you can add an image, you can connect to Facebook, Twitter, or via email and post it. Boom, instantly, and that will go out to your Facebook page, to your fundraisers, to your supporters, whomever you want it to be. We have some neat little analytics here, so you can see performance over time from when it was launched in February. Nothing really happened, and then we started promoting it, and wow, we started to take off, and then we did something here that just skyrocketed our our ability to fundraise. It tracks the emails that we've sent, our social posts, and our page views. You can see our supporters, how that's grown over time, and then page views as well. So that gives you a sense for how we've been doing and where we've had impact. And then you'll notice these other tools here. You can create a new campaign. You can create an event. Again, we're not going to cover that in today's webinar, but we will in future webinars. And that's a great new feature that we have where you can actually start an event like a 5K walk, a bicycle ride, whatever it might be. You can create that event and have people register as well as create fundraising pages through Fundly. After someone donates, Fundly automatically sends them a thank you email. And so you can personalize that email to give your own heartfelt thank you. There's a default message there right now. The neat thing to mention here is if you're a nonprofit, you also probably have to take care of giving out tax receipts so that people can claim their donation as a deduction. And you can put in your tax information in this personalized receipt, and that will automatically go out to your donors, and you'll never have to worry about giving them or sending them that receipt if they donate through Fundly. Okay, you can link a Facebook page to your campaign. You definitely want to do this. You can create teams, as we've discussed. You can download donor information. And then there's also a very robust FAQ where you can get support and help. If you do ever have feedback or support, there's this, let's call it this tab right here. You can click on that and very quickly and easily get in touch with our support desk. And they're great about responding and helping you to troubleshoot your needs. So I'm just going to go through these additional tabs. We have these here. All of these represent additional features and tools that we've built in. They're free for the most part, and you can use them to promote and make your campaign successful. So we have a built-in email server. This is a fantastic tool. You can integrate with your Gmail, Yahoo, or Outlook accounts. You can upload contacts, and you can email them. And so you have donors. We have pre-populated templates that pull in your campaign information. They pull your account name, and they will allow you to send out emails almost instantly. And so you could say, all right, I want to tap into my Gmail network, and I'm going to send them a donor request. And then I have a bunch of supporters, potential supporters. I'm going to email them. It's a different email template. And then, gosh, these people have already donated, or they donated to my last campaign. I'm going to thank them and invite them to view my new campaign. Something along those lines. And then you can also create a custom email. And then for any of these, if you adapt it or change it, I'll change this and say, please donate. I would really appreciate it. And you can change this in real time. Then we say, I want to save this. And that failed for some reason. But that should be working. And it might be just a login issue. But as you save it, that will give you a template that you can go back and use over and over again. You'd be able to preview that, and then you'd be able to send those emails. Okay, so that's our email tab and feature. Then this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the session. We have these widgets, and they can be embedded on your website, on your blog, on other online media that you have. So you can take this HTML here and copy and paste it into your website, and that will create this beautiful little campaign card that will sit on your website. And if they click on that or they click anywhere, that will take them back to this campaign page here. So it's a great way to link everything. And you can add an image here for your campaign card to change this. You can also add a donate button, and that will take them directly to the donation. You can even embed the donation form on your website. So if you take this code here, this HTML, they could actually fill this out and save and continue and donate without ever leaving your website. Really a neat feature here if you want to get into integration. Then let's go ahead to the Supporters tab. We have access to all of this great data from your fundraisers, your teams. This campaign doesn't have any. All of your supporters should be populating. I think there's a login issue because I'm logged in as a super admin here, and this is actually ChangeFire's account. Well, here we go. So this is all the supporter information. You can see it's captured each of their information as they've donated, as they've fundraised, or even as they've just supported. So you can see this individual here, he's just a supporter, but we've captured his information. You know, Martika, she's just a supporter as well. And you can download this information. And then we have donors here that it's a full and comprehensive list of their information. You have all their emails here, right? And then we have our settings tab. And this is basically to change the status of your campaign. Right now it's active, which means it's public and you can take donations. You could switch it to finish, so it would end your campaign. You no longer can donate, but it will keep your campaign public. And then last, if you want to just take your campaign offline, you can click hidden, and it's no longer searchable by the public. And this is something only you would have access to if you would like to do that. Okay. And then we also have the ability to integrate with MailChimp if you want to get even more sophisticated with your emails. Many of you are familiar with MailChimp and Constant Contact. Right now we only support MailChimp, but that is a very valuable tool if that's something you'd be interested in using. And then last but not least, we have our Funds tab. And this is where all of the financial information resides. And so you have all of these credit card donations. You're going to have the amounts and status, whether it's in process or settled, the names, and then the emails of these individuals. And that is often very important for integrating it with your CRM or just keeping track of who's donated. And so you can download your user data there. And so just to note, downloading any of the user data is a paid feature. So again, that's something to consider as you use the free versus the subscription. But that is, we know, a very valuable feature often as you keep track of your donors. And then the last feature that I'll just demo here is adding a donation. So often you'll get a check or a cash donation. You just want to use Fundly to keep track of those, or you'd like to have your thermometer updated and fully accounting for those offline donations as well. Well, this is how you solve that. You can put any amount, you know, $55 here. You got a check for $55. I can put my name. You can put the front. I can put in my email. I can say whether it's a cash or check. It was given last week. And then I can actually credit it to the parent campaign. Or I could pick one of my fundraisers and say, oh, this check actually went to Allie, you know, whatever it might be. So I'm not going to save that, but that is how you would add an offline donation. So this is a pretty thorough overview of how to create a campaign, how to manage it, and how to take advantage of all of the control panel command center features. So again, we've built a lot of really fantastic features that allow you to tap into your networks and the networks of your network, and really make some incredible things happen with fundraising. Hopefully that helps get you situated with the product and how you can use it to your advantage. I'm going to go ahead and close here. with this note on resources. Again, we do have these training webinars every first and third Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. Pacific. We will be changing up the topics. We'll cover event registration coming up here soon. We'll cover other aspects of Fundly and crowdfunding. We do have office hours for subscription customers. This is every second and fourth Wednesday at the same time from 10 to noon. You can email us if you'd like to sign up for those. We have fantastic FAQs and support documents on our knowledge base, and this is just at support.fundly.com. Actually, screen here, and you can use a search function to find specific answers, or you can just go through it and learn more about what we have available. And absolutely, anytime you have questions or issues, reach out to us at support@fundly.com or our direct line at 650-468-0026. We're always updating our blog with new features or new thoughts and suggestions and advice on crowdfunding. And you can reach us and our ideas on our blog at fundly.com/blog. Okay, so we hope this has been useful. We really appreciate your time and for your use of Fundly. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here and open up the webinar to questions. So you can go ahead and ask those through our portal here. Just populate it with any questions that you have. I have a few here, so I'll go ahead and start with those. And then just go ahead and start typing in questions, and we can spend a few minutes answering those. So I'll answer this one. Is there an option for recurring monthly donations? That's a great question from Aaron Lander, and the answer is absolutely. So as you click into the donation form, there will be an option to check that will say recurring monthly donations. So we have that feature in place, and it's used all the time. So great question from Aaron. We have a couple from Robin. Go ahead and open this up. When you create campaigns from scratch, there is a column to the right that appears populated. How do you create those? You didn't show this. Maybe it's populated by users as they donate, and it's just a placeholder showing you where the images will be placed. Yes, so I think you're referring to, and I am going to go back to this. I think you might be referring to the edit page. I'm just going to make sure this is what you're referring to. But yes, that if you're referring to this piece here, this is, you'll note the tag here, this is an example campaign page. And so that is, not representative of of the content you're putting in. But once you're live, again, you'll be able to see all of that. So Robin's other question, as an admin, can I get a report of supporters to see who are the supporters? So absolutely, I think I've probably answered this question, but if you go into the dashboard and go to the supporters tab, if you are a subscriber, a paid user, then you'll be able to download that as often as you want and have full access to all of your data. Okay, great question by Robin. Aaron, if your campaign ends, do recurring monthly donations end as well? That's a great question. So the answer is no. The campaign will end, but your recurring monthly donations will continue. And so if you'd like to turn that off, I believe the way you do that is just reaching out to that individual, and then you'd be able to turn it off through communication with them. Okay, so Robin said, yep, that is what I was asking, and then I've answered both your questions. So great questions. Hopefully that was helpful. Aaron, Robin, if you have any additional ones, happy to answer those. If there are any of you in attendance that would also like to ask questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes. Otherwise, we really appreciate your time and look forward to your engagement on Fundly. Hey, great question from Robin that just popped in. What is the subscription fee? So we do have a pricing page here that will give you the basic pricing. We're also more than happy, and that is, sorry, I thought there was a link there, but we should have it right here at pricing. See if I remember the link well enough. So we have the professional version here, Robin, and for others that are interested, but it is $99 per month, and there are additional add-ons. You also note that the transaction fee will drop from 4.9 plus a 3% to 3.9, so you save a percent there on the back end. But it is $99 per month, and then for enterprise, depending on how large you are, we can provide a custom quote. But again, if you have questions on this, you can always contact our. We're happy to spend some time with you. You can see here very clearly the features that are included, how easy it is to use, the various things that come with it. Okay, so hopefully that helps, Robin. Again, reach out to us if you have additional questions there. So unless others have additional questions, I think we can go ahead and safely wrap up the webinar. It's been great having you all participate, and again, reach out to us anytime at support or sales, and we're here to help you. Okay, thank you again.